So my name is Robert Rabin. I've been in Vieques all my adult life since I was 25, which is about 40 years now. I taught high school history for the first 10 years or so, and since 1990, I direct the Fort Count Mirasol Museum for the Institute of Puerto Rican Culture here. And I'm also the founder and director of the Vieques Historic Archives, which is our project for historic social investigation about Vieques issues. And I was also fortunately, I had this wonderful privilege to be part of such an important movement by the community to get the U.S. Navy to stop bombing here. And currently, I continue to work for the Institute of Puerto Rican Culture as director of the museum.
Great. So, Bob, as you know, Congress is set to pass a law to compensate Viequenses for their health claims. Why is that important for folks who are no longer in Vieques to sign up?
Sure. It was a great victory to stop the bombing, but obviously the bombing had lots of repercussions. Not just the bombing, the military presence, their control of the land, the control of 2/3 of Vieques, put an end to the agricultural economy, put obstacles to other types of development like tourism, for instance, have created a half a century of economic disaster. The forced migration in the 40s, 50s, 60s, people fled to look for work. St. Croix, the main island, New York, Chicago, other places. Then there's the issue of the contamination. There's so many people with so many illnesses, not just cancer, and I include myself. I'm presently a stage 4 abdominal cancer patient. So all of this means that the people of Vieques need money. Government of Vieques needs money for economic development. People need money for their health expenses. They need money to fix their homes. They need money to deal, again, with this continuing crisis on Vieques that in great measure is due to the Navy presence. I mean, obviously there are other factors, right? But the Navy was the principal force and the principal source of, again, economic and social degradation and serious health issues. So this is critically important that people have funds, and that would be another really great victory. So we're really, happy that John Arthur Eves and his team, has stayed with us for over 20 years without any real guarantee of ever making a penny, right? Investing, large amounts of his own money, his own time, his social network, his social capital to try to help the people of Vieques. So this is really important for us. Again, the funding, economics are key for people's happiness.
And Bob, are you a claimant yourself, and why should people sign up individually?
Yes, definitely. Luckily, I had the opportunity to get help from Lourdes Nieves, who's been John's principal assistant here over the past year or so, and actually for many years working on this. But I signed up, and I think everyone who's eligible should definitely sign up. This is an opportunity to help your family, to help you, to help your next generations as well. And it's it's really important that we make the Navy pay for what they did here, and make the U.S. government admit and by passing this law, this is an admission of guilt. I would say. You might not want to use that. The Congress might not like that, but it's admitting that they created a serious problem and they need to fix it.
Right. And just overall, aside from the individual claims, why is this law such a victory for the municipalities, for research, and for the struggle?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, the law includes a good amount of money for environmental, health-related investigation, scientific investigation, and support, medical support for people. So this is crucial to help us and help others understand the relationship, the interrelationship between military activity, environmental contamination produced by that activity, social and economic degradation that comes from, in many cases, militarism, like here in Vieques, and to understand the scientifics, the interplay and the science related to this health, environmental, and again the economic issues. Not only for Vieques, but I think this is important for the world. There are many other places throughout the world, including the United States, where people are suffering from environmentally created health issues, particularly people who are in areas where the U.S. does military training and practices and use live explosives particularly.
So Bob, before we wrap up, I heard a podcast you did with Benjamin Torres Gotay.
I'm sorry.
I heard the podcast you did with Benjamin Torres Gotay from Nuevo Dia.
Sure.
And you were, aside from all the historical stuff we've talked about in your journey, you're also a patient yourself, and you have to go on a ferry to get your treatment in the main island. Part of this bill would help Viequenses fly to the island or to the mainland while we build up the better hospital that we need.
Yeah.
Can you, if you don't mind, could you relate some of your experiences going through that?
The ferry system is a disaster. It's been like that for decades. It got worse, if that's possible, over the past 5 years, I would say. And now there's this privatization process going on that really has not been helpful at all. So some, boats get canceled, trips get canceled. The boats that this company now, this private companies use, they're small, but they're good for a lake or a river. But there are many months out of the year when the ocean gets really whipped up. These boats cannot run in that type of ocean. But it's a constant anxiety. You get up at 4 a.m. to get on the 6 o'clock ferry to get to a 10 or 11 or 1 o'clock appointment, then try to get back for a 4 or 5 or 6 o'clock ferry to come back. And that the anxiety is not just getting up in the rush to go, but it's am I going to get a ferry? Is there going to be one today? Is it going to be on time? Am I going to make my appointment? Am I going to be able to get back? How much is it going to cost if I can't get back? I have to stay at a hotel. Do I have anybody who lives in an area close by? Can I find a place to stay in case I need shelter? I got to rent a car because it's really difficult to get your own car on the ferry system. So it's costly, it's anxiety-ridden. It's another piece of torture that we have from the Puerto Rican government that is, like the Navy, the Puerto Rican government is also responsible for many of the horrific issues that the people of Vieques confront.
So final analysis, John Eves, good guy, good to be a claimant, and hopefully this will help turn around the future of Vieques.
Yeah, this is, for me, this is a really admirable project that John Arthur Eves, I remember meeting him through Radames Tirado, who I believe was his first contact, but Radames was the mayor here from 1976 to 80 from the PNP party, which is the most right-wing, most pro-American party in Puerto Rico. Sweetheart of a guy. And, he presented me to John, and we were all skeptical, right? As a lawyer looking to make money on Vieques, what's the story? And then, John continued, and he stayed, and he kept widening the project and kept trying to get more and more people involved, and, looking constantly to have people from the community give him advice and look for the Puerto Rican contacts and scientists who worked on this with the community. And he stayed, and he stayed, and he stayed. Many moments of defeat, we might say, or let's call them obstacles within the U.S. political system, and he stayed and he continued.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Wait.
So I think John's proven himself, over 20 years. His must have some kind of strange love thing for John that I didn't know about. Yeah, I have no doubt at all about John's integrity, his genuine interest in the community, and I think we should all, feel really positive about this project and get involved.
Thank you, Bob.